Alright, how we doing, folks? Your boy Mark 1205 numbers after the name. Games beating action, a little bit of Final Fantasy 6. You already know how we be is doing. The last of the Final Fantasy games that we're going to feature on the channel for a little bit. We'll see when we actually get to the 7 remake over there and whenever that thing's completed or whatnot. But we managed to play through 1 through 6. With the caveat, as you'll notice when you look through the playlist, that 3 isn't on there. I played 3 on the DS back in the day. Pretty confident I beat it, not 100% sure. I have to open up the DS and just see. Like I mentioned before, I think it might be one of those things where I'm like at the final boss kind of thing too, and I'm like, man, I need like 2 hours to do this last fight. Either way, Final Fantasy 6, to me, by far, I was going to say the best Final Fantasy game ever made. I can't say that just because I haven't played much from 6 onward. I have 15 and 16 sitting here. I haven't really touched 13 or 14, never played 10. I don't even know what the hell Final Fantasy 11 is, honestly, or 12. Or 10 times 2 or whatever that is. I've started 7, 8, 9. I've started the PlayStation 1. I've never finished enough to have a full opinion on them. But from this early era, and I do love myself some JRPGs in this style. You'll notice a couple weeks from now we'll put up Octopath Traveler 2, for example, as a game beat. I love kind of thematically what this is, and Final Fantasy 6 to me knocks it out of the park. Gameplay-wise, it's everything that you want from a Final Fantasy game. There's so much depth. There's so much that you can actually do with it. And then story-wise, it's spectacular. I mean, the story is off the chain. I'm not going to tell you it's the most amazing story. I'm not going to tell you that it's, like Oscar-worthy kind of stuff. But I will put you in that mindset of a Super Nintendo game at that time and splitting up the parties, as you could see here, and having to pick and choose, not knowing what's coming up, and spoiler alerts for what happens, but like the world ending and you having to regroup and stuff like that and seeing everything from there. Obviously, the opera scene is very famous. There's so much to this game that I can't do it justice necessarily. When I go in and play through all these other ones, the 1 through 5 are perfectly fine. And the thing I enjoy most out of them is probably the gameplay and just, the rolling the dice and figuring out, like, hey, this guy's weak to that and doing that. Whereas Final Fantasy 6 for me is gameplay plus storytelling, plus like investment, emotional investment into the characters, and also just the strategy of figuring it out, and in this case, for example, splitting up the parties and whatnot. So I think this game hits on all levels. It's still very replayable. I'm playing it on the Game Boy Advance version here, very replayable. I'm sure the pixel remaster is great. Check it out.